approachable podcast.com. If you're watching us live, and you're watching this interview, we are having technical difficulties. But we do have Gina here. Gina Ferwerda is here. Let me give you a little bit of an intro. Gina Ferwerda is a Michigan-based cookbook author, television personality, entrepreneur, and creator of Meals from the Mitten, where she shares fresh, coastal-inspired recipes that celebrate the Great Lakes lifestyle. Known for her approachable cooking style and love of local ingredients, Gina brings Michigan's flavors to life through her signature spice lines, featuring blends inspired by her favorite regional dishes. And you can actually catch Gina live on the Meijer main stage at the Grand Rapids International Wine, Beer, and Food Festival, November 21st, November 22nd. So if you're in the Grand Rapids area, if you're in the West Michigan area, if you're anywhere in the Midwest, come and see Gina. Gina, welcome to Bruh.
Thank you so much for having me.
So the one thing that I didn't have in there was I wanted to make sure. Let's first talk about how we met and how we have connected and how you were very kind to come to our podcast or come onto our podcast was the Grand Rapids International Wine, Beer, and Food Festival. We reached out and we said, or you'll let us, like, it honestly was just, there's no way they're going to let us in. Like, after there's no way they're going to let us into this thing. I don't know, maybe they had 10 or 15 extra booths laying around. They said, sure, we'd love to have you guys. But then they said, what would be interesting is that, some of the presenters on the Meijer main stage, which is where, when you go to the festival, this will be my first time, but from Nate, who our last guest, said, there's a bunch of vendors and then there's a Meijer main stage where there's presentations and there's a bunch of other stations around it, or what you want to. So that's when if you watch the previous episode, Nate Blurry was on, and then they said, but you have to interview Gina. So that's how we came together. And so first of all, thank you, Gina. And second, here's the second thing that we have to make a correction, because we had a meeting before this. Nate said, let's be clear. You don't live in an RV, right, Gina? Let's
I
be
don't,
very
no.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I love you, Nate. But yeah, so Nate has come to our home before. We set him up in our guest home here at the Silver Lake Sand Dunes, and he knows that we're big adventure travelers. So we own RV resorts. We don't live in an RV. So I think Nate got that a little bit off, but that's okay. Yeah, the longest trip we've ever taken was 3 weeks in an RV. We have a 45, we've sold that. We've had a couple of them, sold our last one a year or two ago, but like a 45-foot motor coach. Definitely not a little travel trailer, large motor coach. And we would go about 3 weeks, go out to Moab, Utah, go, down to Arizona, back around. So, but we don't live in an RV.
You said motor coach. This is, to me, this is the crown jewel of RVing. Like, when you can be going down the road, driving down the road, and then people are in the back. See, that to me is true RVing. Travel trailer to me is, it's fine. I'm not knocking travel trailers, but the motor coach that's the crown jewel to me of RVing. Any comment
And
on that,
that's what you want, we had an Integra 45-foot, a bath and a half, large king size bed in the back. We had a Renegade as well, custom made. And what you do is 45-foot, you put a 20-foot trailer on the back. You get your Jeep that's been lifted and you go out to Moab and Colorado and you do off-roading in the mountains. It's fun. It's great. So it's definitely not RVing per se, and nothing wrong with RVing, but motor coach, it's pretty hard when you go into these small towns in Colorado and there's like a Vail, and my husband will be like, you got to tell me where we can get off to get fuel. So I'm like in charge of that, because if you get fuel, you can't go through little roundabouts when you have 65 in you.
Here's one problem that I always wanted to talk to somebody in the RV space. Are there different types of RV parks that we can get into that maybe, we could call it glamping? There's a couple campgrounds that I've been into, I can't bring my children. I can't.
Okay, so what you're looking for is, look for the word resort, not campground. So we don't allow tents on any of our luxury motor coach RV resorts. You can't bring a tent. They're all concrete pads. They all have electric. They all have water. They all have like everything's all full hookup. So look for that, and then also look for one. Follow the reviews. If people say it's super loud, noisy, that's not your place. You know, we have like gated community, so all of ours are gated, and so yeah. So you just have.
How many years have you been going to this festival? Because like I said, Tony and I are festival virgins. So
Oh, I can't wait.
yeah, so we're Nate was giving us some tips there. He said pace yourself was a big, you have to pace yourself when you're there. So how many years have you been there? And can you give a couple young pups like us any tips at the festival?
Yes. So it is the 18th year of the Grand Rapids International Wine, Beer, and Food Fest. Yeah, 18 years. And I've been part of it for the Meijer Food Stage for the last 6 years since 2019. I would say I agree with Nate to pace yourself, but also eat, eat, eat.
Uh-huh.
There's restaurants that have these all food at every little station, and they're dispersed throughout all of the festival. So make sure you're eating. You can also sign up for pairings dinners, but make sure you're eating. So yeah,
Eat. Okay, got it.
eat.
Uh, Now this year, and I I'm maybe referencing back to Nate, but what are you covering on the Meyer main stage? Do you have is there I think Nate was covering mocktails. I think that was sort of his theme. Is there a theme that you have, or is there multiple, or are there certain brands that you're
Yeah.
representing?
Yeah, so I'm on the Meijer Food Stage, so we're all representing the culinary demonstrations are all coming from the Meijer products. And these are brands that either have been long-standing with Meijer or they're possibly new brands. So I'm covering several on mine. And so I'm doing something called the Festive Bruschetta and Pairings board. So it's kind of right before the holidays. So you're going to go and you're going to see a culinary demonstration by myself, and you're going to see what you can do for the holidays. Thanksgiving's coming up, New Year's is coming up, all of these things. What can you do instead of just your plain charcuterie board? What can we do? So, and I'm bringing in different brands. One of my favorites, this has been Stonehouse bread, has been around for a long time. I will be using a Stonehouse bread for my bruschetta board. And then Grady's salsa, that Grady's
Mhm.
Garden. I'll be doing chips and salsa on the board as well. And that is with Downriver Chip Company. So these are all Meijer. You can find all of these at Meijer. So anytime we do culinary demonstrations on the Meijer Food Stage, it's really nice because you can go straight to your Meijer, which they're everywhere all around Michigan and our surrounding states, and you can get these ingredients. So we're not giving you stuff that you can't find anywhere, you know. So they're
Yeah, and
accessible.
the bread company, and what we'll do is we'll put that in the show notes, and then we'll put a graphic up of the logo when we put this in the post. But is that a Michigan based company or
It is. All yes.
okay?
So Stonehouse Bread is out of Traverse City, Michigan, and they have been part of the festival for many years. And I have actually used them on some of my culinary demonstrations on the Meijer Food Stage in years past. So they're a great company to work with, all natural ingredients, real true bread, real true sourdough bread on the way it's supposed to be made. So it's good and healthy for your gut.
Okay, so will you what we do? This is what we do here at Bra. And Tony, do you have any questions for Gina? Do you have anything that you any?
It's driving me crazy that I can't see y'all. You know, I do have a comment. I am so glad that Gina is saying bruschetta and not saying bruschetta.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Gina, there's a running bit on this show, and it's actually not a bit, it's real. My pronunciation is awful, and I don't know what is going on, but I can't Tone, do you remember how did I pronounce that pasta that I made last?
So
Oli
he
olie?
made alia he made alia e olio. and it was way off. One day we were doing I made a queso fundido with Chihuahua cheese, and he's reading it off the menu, and it was Chihuahua. It was actually phonetically probably really it was on, but Michael is my guy for
That's
that.
funny.
He's not even trying
Yes.
It's
to
bad.
make it wrong.
Okay,
It's
so
just wrong.
Yeah,
It
I
must be a
appreciate you saying
Pennsylvania
that,
thing.
Tony, because I will be talking about how to pronounce bruschetta and
Oh,
not bruschetta.
nice. I
So
love that.
I will be bringing that up
That's
in
so
my
good.
culinary demonstration. Breads are and different things that you can put on them. They're very similar. They're great appetizers. I want to make it very easy for people to come listen to the culinary demonstration, go back right before Thanksgiving or their holidays, do an appetizer board. I don't want them to think, oh, I have to make it Italian like. It has to be, you can Americanize anything,
Yeah.
But if you do go to a restaurant, please say bruschetta. It's
Yeah.
not bruschetta. Thanks,
I
Tony.
love that. No, I love that. I just like what you said there. You know what? That we're in America. Let's let our local stuff shine, and you can do that in an Italian way, and it's your local ingredients. So I think
Yes.
that's super cool.
Well, let's talk about the dates and times. So we're starting it off
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Thursday
Go ahead.
night.
Go for
Are
it.
you guys going to the VIP? So
We're not
Thursday?
we're
going.
starting
No,
Thursday.
We are not
I've
VIP.
been getting
Apparently, I
emails.
didn't even know Thursday.
We're getting
So yes,
emails on the VIP, but go tell us about the
yeah,
VIP, Gina,
yeah,
because
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think the
It's
bras
one.
are there.
Okay, so one of my favorite nights of the whole entire weekend is really starts it off, and that's Cheers for Charity. Thursday night's a VIP event. Tickets are limited, so I would get on that, but it's just a fun night out. Bring your spouse, bring your girlfriend, boyfriend. It's cocktail attire. You get to see the festival in a really intimate setting without being like, a whole bunch of people are all around you. You get to kind of see it ahead of time. I love it. It's great. Cheers for Charity this year is hospice, and money goes towards veterans. And I love it. My father passed away a few months ago, and he's a veteran, and we use hospice. And if you can come out and support this, give money for hospice and veterans, you're going to have a great night. And it really kicks off the festival. So that's Thursday night, November 20th, 6 to 9 is the VIP. And then the festival is Friday and Saturday, the 21st and 22nd.
Okay, so Gina, is that if anybody, we're going to try to get this out as soon as possible. So is the VIP open? Do you have to get tickets to VIP, or is that vendors only? How do we get into the VIP?
Anyone can go on to grwinefestival.com and get tickets for the VIP and for the weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Now, is that so we're getting murmurs about is that the event that Isaiah Thomas is at?
So
Or am
he
I?
will be doing tasting sessions during the weekend. So tasting sessions, most of them are free, like the one Nate is doing. That is part of the festival, just like my Meijer Food Stage culinary demonstrations, part of it. You just sit down, enjoy it. You get some samples at the end. Isaiah Thomas's, you do need tasting tickets for his session. So I'm really excited to
Okay.
see his champagne at that. So because I'm a sparkling girl. So
There you
I'm looking
go.
forward to Isaiah's. Yeah.
So here's something that they emailed when we had this. They emailed us, and I think they're looking at us as like media, and they said and possibly can interview Isaiah Thomas, and I'm saying, excuse me, you want us to interview Isaiah Thomas? So they said that they put the request in. Gina, in your opinion, when the request hits Isaiah Thomas's team that we are going to interview him, what's the over under on that passing?
What I would say is make it fun. He's looking
I
for
know.
people that aren't going to do the same journalistic questions
See,
like, "Wow, how'd you
you're
do this?"
right.
Da, da, da. So come in with a side angle. Come in and say, "All right, I'm going to ask him different questions." I mean, look at Call Her Daddy. Like she came
Yes.
in and exploded the entire world by asking questions that were a little not your
Maybe off the beaten
typical
path. Not your
off the beaten path. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was
So
it like? We're not going to. Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know
So
if
come
we're
up,
going to
think
get.
about those now.
Yeah, I think that honestly, Gina, I think that we will be at the front door of the event knocking on it, and they won't like, who are these two?
Do you
So
want me to
I
let
don't
you in
think
the
we'll.
back? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
let me in the back. Yes, absolutely. Sneak us in
I
because, but
definitely
no,
didn't know about the VIP night, so
That's
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
I
it's
think that was on
yeah. How would
purpose.
they? How would they? I didn't hear kids in that list though, Gina. I didn't hear
Yeah.
4 and
Oh, I'm
7-year-old.
sorry. No kids. No kids. No. No. Hey, like I said, I'm an empty nester. I've been an empty nester for 12 years. No kids. I'm done with kids. Okay, done
Yeah,
with that.
I would
Come
love to
with
go
your
there.
spouse and have fun.
Maybe next year, Tom. What do you think? Get the tuxes out. What do you think?
We have to, dude. Yeah,
Have
I
to.
mean, come on now,
I
it's
think,
on.
Gina, can you get us on the Meijer main
Yeah,
stage? Can you put a word in for us to get on
Oh,
the Meijer
well, yeah,
main stage?
I think that would be fun.
Okay, I asked him
I
that
think that
too,
would
and
be
there was no
fun.
response to that email.
Okay. Well, you have to
And
prove yourself a little bit.
I do. That's what we're gonna do.
my
We're
my
gonna prove
amazing
our.
technology skills are definitely gonna show 'em.
Yeah. Nate did say last week, which I really will say again, you're going to come into the festival. Everything's on your wristband to get your tickets. Don't go to the very first ticket if there's a long line. There are several stations all around the festival. Beer City Station, the Vineyard, everywhere there's little places to get tickets. People go to the one and then they stand in line forever. Don't do that. Keep going. There's other places to get tickets. So
Yeah,
that happens
and
year after year.
I'm gonna plug us a little bit here. If you look at the map, there's a broom closet that they put us in next to a ticket station. If see our big orange banner there, stop by, ask us a question. So I think we're by a ticket booth. So
You're
it's
by a ticket booth. Okay. I'm going to find you guys. I'm going to come
we're
over.
by no, and Gina, we would love if you came and sat in and answered, because what we do is we put a microphone out in front, and then we let people ask us food. You can ask us a relationship question, beverage questions, anything. So if
Okay.
you want to sit in for a segment, come and find us. And just another plug here. I would say next week we'll see the 2 hour and 45 minute Crushed Grape live episode that we did. The first one that I want to cover was Meals from the Mitten. So let's talk about the one thing I will tell you, Gina, that I noticed about I don't have the book. I will promise you that I buy the book. But as I was looking at something, I was doing a little bit of research on the book. The photography, the staging was, I'm going to say, absolutely beautiful. So tell me about that. Like,
yeah,
first of all, tell me the
yeah.
inspiration of the book. And then also tell me about sort of the art direction of the book.
I appreciate that. So anywhere I would go and I would talk about Michigan and how beautiful it is and Michigan's food. And most people don't know we're second in the nation in agricultural diversity. California's first, but we're second. And no one would know that. Everyone thinks. So I wanted to put out a book that actually went from spring, summer, fall, winter. So my book is not by like breakfast in the morning and here's what to make for lunch and here's what to make for dinner and here's dessert. My book goes through when you're at the farmers market in May, you're saying, all right, what's fresh, what's new here in Michigan? So that's going to be, of course, your asparagus and your peas and all the things that are great for spring vegetables in summer. You'll flip to summer, you'll go to the farmers market and you'll say, all right, I have blueberries and I have cherries and all of these things. So it kind of goes through and then in fall, of course, you're going to go through your pumpkins and squash and all of those things. So the book is set up to go through the seasons in Michigan. And so that was a huge thing, is just showing Michigan's agricultural diversity and then also our beautiful state with our sand dunes, our beaches. People don't know that. People have no idea what Silver Lake sand dunes
Absolutely.
look like, that what, the Sleeping Bear dunes look like. They're just gorgeous and people are just so unaware of that. So I really,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
I didn't realize that when I was living. My wife was actually born in Chicago, but she grew up in Mattawan. And we would go up to Mattawan and Kalamazoo, and everybody in Mattawan and Kalamazoo, would say, have to see up north. You have to go up north. If you've
you
been
have
up
to go
north, you
north.
have to see up north. But the way that it would work out logistically would be like, we would have 2 days and we would have to see everybody, go see my man Tone, give him a bump, like, give him, that comes off wrong. Give him a fist bump, not a bump. I didn't give Tony a bump. This is a drug-free podcast. So we're just sorry about that. Give him a fist bump. So, but we would
Clarify.
yeah, we're going to clarify that. I don't want the International Wine, Beer, and Food Festival like, what? Definitely not getting with Isaiah Thomas now. But so I never got to see North until we moved up here. I'm trying to describe what I think what caught me with your book was that you made Michigan. I think when people think Michigan, they think snow, winter, not a lot of sunshine. But your book almost felt like when I look at it, it almost had the look and feel of a Southern cookbook, if that makes sense, where it's bright, shiny, the colors that you used in it. So I just wanted to compliment on you. And that's not even getting into the recipes.
90% of all the photography. So I did all my foods. I actually went to kind of learn food styling. And so I went and learned. I've been in photography my whole life, but I needed to learn the vision of food styling, which is different than normal nature photography that I was used to. And then I did 10% of the book. The chapter openers, several of them are from Todd and Brad Reed Photography out of Ludington, Michigan. And so their photography is just spectacular. 90% is mine, but 10% it would be theirs. But yeah, it was really one of those things. I wanted it to be a coffee table style book. Visualization for me, every single recipe had to have a photo. I will never sit and follow a recipe if it doesn't have a photo. That's just me. I want to see what the person that wants me to make this recipe, what's it supposed to look like. So that was a huge vision. So yeah, thank you.
Was this one, I had to ask you about this. Was it muffler meatballs? Can you talk about muffler meatballs?
Yes, yes. So I'm big into adventure cooking.
Yeah.
So Valero Energy out of Texas reached out and asked, and they said, "We saw you on YouTube. You do things with your muffler on your snowmobile, and you cook on your muffler of your snowmobile. You also do engine cooking. So we go out to Moab, Utah, and we go out to Colorado, and we use our Jeep. And I was part of the Jeep talk show, and I would show people how to cook underneath the hood of your Jeep. So I do adventure cooking. So my muffler meatballs are actually, I cook when we're out doing adventure sports using a heat source that's not in the kitchen.
Okay, so I'm guessing, let me just guess, because I read a little bit of the recipe. Do you foil wrap that and then you actually just right to the muffler? Is that
Yeah, no, so I show muffler meatballs and I show you how you can just cook it in your oven. You can cook it however you want to cook your meatballs. But in order to go out in and use these, you would heat them up using a heat source. And it's called a muff pot. I know it's a bad name. I'm not sure where they came up with that.
this is I know. Wait.
You can find it's
Well,
called a muff pot. Yeah, it's a stainless steel pot, but there's others. It's not just that. I'm not calling them out. I'm not sure that they're even still in business. This was years ago. But yeah, you can when we go out and put stuff underneath the hood of my Jeep, I just use three layers of aluminum foil. So we don't say tin foil. People always say tin foil. We haven't had tin foil since before World War II. So stop with the tin foil. Okay. Aluminum
did I
foil.
say tin foil or did I say aluminum?
No, you didn't. But people do
Okay.
everywhere all the time. I don't remember the last time anyone's used tin foil in almost 100 years. So yeah.
Okay. And also,
But yeah,
to be
adventure.
clear, when you pick up Meals from the Mitten, Meals from the Mitten is like Gina described. There is a line of recipes through there. It's not all recipes that we can cook on our carburetor or like it's not that kind of book.
Is there like two
Yeah.
maybe recipes
Yeah.
that show
So-
what you can do outside? Other than that,
Yes.
they're all things you can do in your kitchen or your grill.
Excellent. Next, I do want to touch silver spices. So can you give us, so silver spices is a spice line that you have?
Came from, of course, my cookbook. So in my cookbook, I had something called my house seasoning. Someone said, your house seasoning, I bought your cookbook, but I really want, I think it's a magical house seasoning. And I put that I put that stuff on everything. And so I was like, all right,
You
that
can
I
curse,
made
Gina,
it.
you can curse. We'll bleep it.
Okay.
Don't worry. You can curse.
I called it magical house seasoning. And then so in 2020, I always said when I have extra time, my cookbook came out in 2018. And when I have extra time, I'm going to put out this spice line to go along with the cookbook. Well, 2020 came. Sitting at home, I'm like, all right, I got the time. So I came out with the spice line at that point. So I have all of these different spices that go along with the cookbook, but I have a funny story. This is my latest one, and it's called my Tequila-Barreled Smoked Sea Salt. So you remember Nate Blurry from last week,
Yep.
and he does a
Yep.
lot of things in the alcohol industry. And so I chatted with him when he came up and stayed at our guest house, and we did a bunch of mixology videos. And I said, I'm looking at doing this smoked sea salt, but I want it to be tequila barreled. And he's like, I can get you the staves. And I said, okay, that I need that. I met with him before a Grand Rapids International Wine, Beer, and Food Fest. He gave me the staves, put it in the back of my vehicle, my SUV. About 2 hours later, we were done with this event, and I got back in my vehicle, and it smelled like tequila, like just straight up tequila. And I'm like, if I get pulled over on the way
Yeah.
home, I'm done. Like
Yeah,
I'm
ma'am.
done.
Okay, ma'am. The staves in the back. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Please step out of the car,
Exactly.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yes. So that was the first portion of this tequila, the smoked sea salt. But if you like, I smoke a lot of meats, so brisket and, big dino ribs, and like I do a lot of smoking. But if you just want to put something in your air fryer, you want to put something in your oven, you just want to cook something on the stove without opening up, or even on your grill without actually smoking meats, you put this tequila barreled smoked sea salt on it. It tastes just like it's been in a smoker.
Wow.
It's so
That's
good.
cool.
So where
Dang.
can we find silver
I
spices? So
love that.
if you're listening to this, we'll put it in the show notes, but give us where can we find silver spices at?
Yeah, so right on my website. So you can go to silverspices.com. That goes right over to my nomnews.com, and that's my blog.
Okay.
So nom meaning food, and the news meaning north, east, west, and south. So food from kind of all over.
Okay. So and also Tony, while there were technical difficulties going on, Gina invited us up to Silver Lake to
Yes.
stay at the guest house. The bros are coming to
What?
Silver Lake, and we're going to do some live video cooking.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
in. Let's
We'll do
get
some
it,
live
Gina. Come
we'll do
on.
some live cooking. It has to be in the
I
summer because we
love
take off
that.
in the winter.
Yeah.
And so
It's
yeah, in
fine.
the summer
Living
you
in your
come up.
RV, I know. Thanks, Nate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nate.
No, I get it. I get it. No, that sounds so cool. I even got it. You didn't even know me yet. Now you know me, kind of.
Yeah,
I
we'll do a
still wouldn't be
podcast.
invited?
We'll do a podcast right from up here. You guys come up and get you on the dune.
So what we're going to do is Gina has agreed to sit in for a little bit of some of our usual segments. The first one, this is actually a new segment, and we have a lot of new segments. Tony, we have to start repeating some of our segments because I think we're coming up with too many new segments. But this one, I'm not proud of it, but I would eat it again. So that's this segment. Disclaimer: some of what you'll see on this segment could possibly be after a gummy, possibly. Okay, we are in Michigan; it is legal, but could possibly be. I'm not committing to that. All right, this is embarrassing.
No, but I can put my glasses on and I might be able to see
Okay,
it.
this is. I'll
old,
explain
remember?
this to. This is boursin. I've showed you this
Oh,
one. This is
cheese.
pepperoni. This is a slice of pepperoni with a smear of boursin, and I think that was maybe onion chive, something like that. I was about to put this in my mouth, and I said, I'm going to take a picture of this because this is a shameful moment. So I took a picture of it.
That actually looks good. What's wrong with that?
It's just
Is it like a little like pepperoni canapé? What's going on there? You just the way you described it to me.
I don't
I'll
think I'd be
text it to you.
embarrassed of that. It looks good.
You don't think so?
No,
This is
it's cheese wrapped in meat. Like,
Oh, hey, I'm with that. Shoot.
yeah.
guys, this
But
is
I get it.
barbaric.
You thought it was shameful. Were you doing it behind like wifey's back, like she didn't know what was going on?
No, I mean, you could say that's the kitchen counter. Like I'm right on the kitchen counter, and I was about to go in, and then you see if you're really paying attention here, I had a piece of pepperoni in the chamber there, so there's one ready to go, and I can guarantee you that the second one went in.
I would love to share. Yeah. So this started in college. I went to Grand Valley State University, which is in Grand Rapids, back in the 1990 or early 90s. And it started with
It's
Doritos
already,
in several.
it's already in the gutter, Gina. You're already in the gutter.
Okay. And I don't even know what you want to call it. Doritos Delight, Doritos Soup, whatever. I would discuss my college roommate and she'd be like, "What are you eating?" And the base is always sour cream. And then for the nacho regular original Doritos, it would be salsa, sour cream. And I would just mix that
Yeah,
up into like a soup-like mixture, crush this bag
perfect.
up and throw it in. And
Oh
I
my
would
God,
end of the
I've been
night.
there.
We didn't have gummies back then, but back in the day, definitely drinking.
Yeah.
But now here's what's really, 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 really bad is that no one knows it, is I've come up with now several flavors. So if you have like the Cool Ranch, it's still the sour cream base, but now it's also mixed in with some homemade ranch and some buffalo sauce. Then throw that Cool Ranch in. Like I've come up with, I'm sorry, but Doritos is my late night.
Yeah.
I've come up with so many Dorito dips in my life that
I
I don't
love
know.
What
that.
it,
Doritos are my love language.
That's
what is
so
so?
Yeah.
What is the? Because I've seen going around on the Instagrams there. I've seen some food. They look like food trucks where they bring a bag of Doritos and then they
Oh,
fill it
yes,
with.
yes, yeah.
So what
Yeah,
is?
or yeah, so it's any bag of chips. You come in, they slit it down the side of a
Yeah.
big bag of chips, and then they ask what they want. Do you want the chicken? Do you want the this? Do you want the that? And this white sauce. And I love that food truck. I haven't been to it, but I'm definitely down to go to one.
Yeah. You could bring a
Yeah.
whole bag of Doritos
Whole bag of Doritos, and they would just
and
put
they
all the
just yeah.
stuff on it. So yeah, yeah. So that
There's no. You know what? There's no shame in that game. That I'd be
no,
into. I'm in
yeah,
on that one.
I'm into
I'm in.
tailgating stuff. So I'm telling you what, like big game, Super Bowl, all of those, like Doritos. Yeah, so good. Yeah. So Doritos, call me Doritos because it's not sponsored. I definitely have so many recipes for you.
Yeah, Doritos. If you're if,
Doritos,
if you're listening,
man.
if you
if
somehow
you're
stumble
listening.
onto this
Sounds
podcast,
good.
Tone, what do you got? Do you have one for?
Yeah. What's your late night?
I keep
have
forgetting
kind of
the
a
name of the bit.
general thought. It's I'm not proud of it, but I would eat it again, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not proud of it, but I'd eat
Yeah.
it again.
So I don't know if this qualifies, but I'm just saying in general, my wife would be mad at me. I get in trouble sometimes. Like I do really good. Like I just, like, I'm like, I don't eat a big dinner or something. I'm drinking and just hanging out. And I'm
Mhm.
like, no, I don't need just snacks and stuff like that. But then it gets real late.
Yeah,
Times
nobody's
like
watching,
you're hungry
nobody's
before
looking.
bed, and you're like, and I'm thinking like, I had a couple drinks. Like maybe it's good to get food in my stomach. Like I start in my head thinking maybe it's a good idea. Food in my stomach would be better for me at 1 a.m. than if I don't because I had drinks. In general, I can eat anything cold out the fridge. And I think what's one of my good friends, he's my neighbor, he always like he'll have like late night stuff and like he'll always heat it up and like heat it up in the microwave. I don't even have a microwave. And he always make fun of me. He always say it's a white people thing to eat like cold pizza. And he's like my boy, and he'd be like, "Only you white people eat cold pizza." He's like, "We gotta
Cold
warm it
pizza.
up," and like he always like that sort of thing. So I'll eat anything cold out the fridge, especially late night. And you know what is so good to me that it's probably kind of shameful, but when you have like either something braised, some like if it's like beef chuck roast braised, cochinita pibil, like pork braised, and then it gets
Deep
cold
here.
and like the fat solidifies. The fat
You dirty
solidifies, but
doggy.
I am not
You dirty
ashamed to
dog,
go
you.
into the Tupperware and grab that little piece of like braised meat that's so tender, and it has more flavor now because it's just been sitting. It's almost like a cold confit in the fridge with that solidified fat, and I'll
Dirty.
take a bite out that
You
with no shame. It's nasty, probably, but it's so good. It's
So
so
telling you,
add
good.
thank you.
Doritos to that, and
Yeah.
Doritos with
You
some like leftover braised meat. Oh my god.
yeah, short rib.
thank
Short
you for
rib and like a
sharing.
red
That is
wine, like
that's a
so
personal
good.
moment.
It's awesome,
That's a
also
personal.
hot, but like out the fridge is kind of shameful.
That is a personal experience that you share. Thank you for that. I know what you're talking about.
You gotta spend the
And
night sometime, Michael.
I know
You and me,
we gotta
dog.
get that. Just
We'll venture.
get some of that braised. Get some of that braised. We get some braised short ribs or something, and just take them like
And then make
popsicles. Just put
sure
them
to
right in
stay
the
up late
freezer.
enough.
We'll do a smoking. We'll do a
Popsicles.
smoking class. So short ribs or dino ribs and brisket
Oh
up
my
in Silver
god.
Lake. So yeah, we'll do a smoking class. Real like if you're not having to tend to the wood, you're not having to tend
Yeah.
to the charcoal, you're not having to tend to anything. I can throw that in, and I know
You can
technology.
sleep.
Throw it right on my phone. I throw
Yeah,
in
it's got the Wi-Fi on.
all of the stuff. I put the Wi-Fi in, and I look at the phone, and I'm like, oh, it's at 165. It's time to wrap. Get my put your paper out, and like you start to
Yup.
wrap and all that. Like, and I get to 203. I know exactly like
Yup.
it's the pellet smoker. I just have to say so many good things about it. And I can show you someone that I can show you with wood, pellet, charcoal. You're doing all of these smoking. It's so simple by having this new technology. So, you
Really
know,
is convenient.
yeah.
Mine
So
broke. I
there,
had one and it broke, and like I tried to fix the motor. Like the auger like got stuck, and I tried to like clean it out and take it apart, and like it ended up where it would just catch on fire because like it wouldn't
every
push
time.
the
Okay.
so like I had to
I
just
threw
trash
it.
it. Thankfully, I have a big green egg, and I love that thing, but like that's all I smoke on now, and it's more maintenance. I gotta like really keep
More
an eye on it.
maintenance.
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's hard when
yeah.
I'm like want to do something slow and I want to start it like at 2 a.m, so it's like
Let it go.
ready, you know, and
Yeah.
like it's you have to get up and pay attention, and
Yeah.
but it's
Yep.
awesome. It's also
Yeah.
fun. It's kind of like I'm proud when it turns out awesome because I'm like, yo, it's because I timed it right and I was paying attention. But the pellet, those are freaking
The
awesome.
pellet is just
Love
so
it.
easy,
Yeah.
just because of technology.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, and we're gonna
Oh
try.
man.
This is breaking news. Breaking news on the podcast. I think we're gonna go back to we for the past couple Thanksgivings. We've been checking down with just doing smoked turkey breasts on the pellet on the Traeger on the pellet grill. But this year, this is breaking news, Gina, that you're here for. We're going back to whole bird. We're going whole bird in the Traeger this year. So stay tuned for that because I think we're going to try to
Okay.
document.
Nice.
So
Okay.
breaking
All
news,
right.
Gina. That's where you're here on breaking news.
Yeah.
But one Gina, will you stick around for one more question? Because we have our
Absolutely.
faithful listeners. Okay, so this is from Greg in Flint. Greg in Flint. The catered salad for a large party. They only included the veg in the salad and no meats and cheeses. What can be done to make this a true antipasta salad? Gina, this seems right up your alley. Help Greg
Yeah,
out here. So
absolutely. All right.
with
So
if you,
Greg,
all they do is they just a veg. It's just you get this salad like, oh, we only do veg. What do you mean meats
yeah,
and cheese? It's too expensive. So how do we zhuzh this up?
I've never been a vegan, okay, ever.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to add some meats and cheeses. So what I would do is I would take your charcuterie board, like who doesn't have all of those things in their refrigerator at all times? Cheeses and salamis
Yeah.
and some type of meat. So I would definitely add that to it. And I do have a great thing. Anytime you go and you have tailgating, you guys big into tailgating and watching games? Okay.
Yeah,
Love
we,
it.
we've. I
Okay.
used to be. Kids have kind of taken us out of that, but we'll be back. Go ahead.
You'll be back to it. All right.
Yeah.
So kids are
Yeah.
just a small
Damn
portion
it.
of your life. Though
Damn
you'll get
kids.
kid. Yeah. So you have all of these dips and meat and cheese platters and veggie platters. So what you're gonna do? Well, I already answered the salad question. You're gonna take the charcuterie and make sure that you make your salad good. But my big thing is don't let all of your stuff from your tailgating and your Super Bowl parties and your big game parties and your weekend football games and your games, all the food that you have there, you're putting that into a egg bake for the next morning. So I always say you start oh yeah. So you have leftover meats that goes at the bottom. Okay, so whatever your leftover meats are. Then your next is what do you have? What dips do you have? You have a 7-layer dip, you have a street corn dip, you have whatever dips. Then you have your vegetables, right? Someone who knows who brought some veggies and ranch to the party. There's a bunch of that left over. You throw that on. You
Kick them
have
right
like
out. Kick them right out after I see
yeah,
that.
yeah. And then someone like has either tortilla chips or some French bread from Bruschetta or crostini. You have to have something to soak all of that up. Now you just go into your fridge and you grab a couple eggs, whisk that up with a little bit of milk, throw on some shredded cheese. The next morning you have the best leftover tailgating egg bake.
It's Wednesday night, and
Gina,
I'm like,
you're speaking
come
my
on,
language.
Gina.
I love a good egg bake.
Maybe it's good I don't have
No
the
leftovers.
visual, and I'm listening very hard, but like my mouth, like I am.
I
Dude,
know.
you killed it with everything.
Gina,
The Doritos, smoked meat. I'm just like, oh my god, that sounds so good.
That's
the egg bake.
Yeah. So
That
don't
is
let your
exactly what I like.
leftovers go to waste.
This is what I like about the egg bake, real quick, and then is that the egg bake is sort of just the nail in the coffin. It's just sort of you have the previous night, you have just went all in, and you wake up on the Sunday. So you know what? This is the Sunday where I start. This is the Sunday where I try to. This is where I start to eat healthy, and then the egg bake comes out, and it's like, you know what? One more dance. One more dance. We're gonna have one more dance, and then one more dance turns into one more dance on Monday, and one more dance on Tuesday, and then you're 10 pounds heavier when you move to Michigan.
Then you're a ballerina. Okay. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, not very graceful though, Gina. Well, anyway, we are going to wrap. Gina, thank you so much. Our International Wine, Beer, and Food Festival. See Gina there. If you see this, get your tickets. Go see Gina. Also, come see the Bruz. The Bruz will be there. But come and see us. Go and see Gina on the Meijer main stage. Also, Silver Spices, silverspices.com. Gina, do I have that correct?
Silver Spices, yes. Yep. Check that out.
And then you had, what was the blog? Plug the blog real quick. So,
yeah, so Nom News. Yeah, so Nom like food. And yeah, nomnews.com. Yeah.
NOMnews.com.
Yeah.
Meals from the Mitten. Pick this up. Get it at, I'm sure it's on Amazon. Get the hard copy too.
Amazon,
don't be messing around with it. Don't be messing around with that digital version. Get the coffee table book. It was meant to be a coffee table book. So get that, pick that up. And Gina, I can't thank you enough. And I really look forward to the live episode Silver Lake where we welcome the Brud. And then your husband's like, what are we doing this weekend?
No, he's so good. He'll take you out on we have a boat rental, so he'll take you out on the boats and maybe like pontoon boats, ski boats, and wave runners, and he'll take you out on boating. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
So Bra Podcast. I'm gonna wrap, Tone. Tone, do we anything else that we got to cover? Or are we good?
Thank you guys. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, guys, about my technical issues here tonight.
Tony,
stop. We can see you.
Bill Gates. Yeah, but it sucks. I can't see you. But honestly, look, maybe this was good for me. This was it was all audio and like
you're using your senses.
Both of you. I was gonna say Gina describing the food. Michael, you got some good descriptors too, dude. No lie, man. I was feeling that. Thank you for sending
really good for your brain to just have those senses.
This is actually So hey, it's a win.
They call that. Pardon me, Gina. We're actually gentlemen, but what we're giving Tony are ear orgasms. They call those ear orgasms,
Ear
Tony.
orgasms,
Yeah. Yeah.
neuroplasticity is what I would call it. Is
Yeah.
you're getting
Well,
the brain to kind of So, but you can call it
This
what you
is-
want.
Michael's giving me eargasms and bumps. I mean, like, come on.
I'm doing
Yeah.
everything I can
Come
to
on,
not
Mike.
be allowed at this festival. I'm doing everything. I don't know why I'm trying to disqualify myself from this thing. But anyway, so let me do a couple
We
closing
will
notes
see you
and then we'll get
soon.
out of here. Bruhpodcast.com, BRUHpodcast.com. See it, subscribe, like, tell a friend. That's all we say. It's just, it's all we ask is to just, if you hear about us, if you're listening to us, just tell one friend or family member. What else do we have going on? We won't, I mean, we will be with Gina at a certain point, but she's on the Meijer main stage. So go see her there. That's International Wine, Beer, and Food Festival, November 21st and 22nd. Get your tickets. Fly to Michigan. You know, if you're in Arizona and you somehow hear this, I say, holy, I've got to get on a plane and get to Michigan because Gina's going to be there and the bras are going to be there. Honey, sell the car. We're going to Michigan. What else do you want to cover, Tone? Anything else? I think that's it. I think, Gina,
I just want to
thank
say
you so much.
there's only 8 meals from the Mitten left in stock on Amazon right now.
Look out,
Good to
Gina.
know. I'll
gonna
have
be
to
a good
replenish
Christmas.
that. Thank you.
Stock up.
Be planning
Yeah.
it. It'd be a good Christmas, Gina. All right. Okay. Anyway, Gina, thank you. Again, thank you. This is
Thank you.
BRUHpodcast.com, and we will see you next time. Thank you.